Hi, my name's Jason, the founder of Soma Analytics, and I've just literally today taken delivery of this. This is Magic Mind. Now it does say it's the world's first ever productivity drink, but it's not the first ever nootropic drink. And I suppose the word productivity they're using there from a marketing point of view. But typically whenever we reviewed nootropic drinks in the past, they've not been fantastic. So I'm pretty excited to review this one, hoping that it's going to be a little bit better than what we've looked at in the past. And actually, when we look at the ingredients used, there's matcha, which is obviously rich in L-theanine. We've got a bunch of nootropics in here: lion's mane mushroom, choline, phosphatidylserine. We've got some adaptogens, which are also nootropics. We've got ashwagandha, we've got turmeric, and then we've got honey for taste. Now it tells me to drink it alongside tea or coffee, so I'm going to make my early afternoon tea. I'm going to have this alongside it, and then we'll see if it has any impact, and I'll run this review over the next couple of days, and I'll keep coming back and letting you know how it's going. Right, I have my tea and I have my 3 sample bottles. So I'm going to be taking this. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the moment. Now the instructions on the packet here do actually say take alongside your coffee or tea and get the most out of your morning ritual. However, looking at the ingredients, there isn't anything in here that really should stop us from taking it in an afternoon. I probably wouldn't suggest taking it too late in the day, because it's not going to have probably the longer lasting impact that you're going to want it to. But it's really interesting in here that it says what to expect. So day 1 is telling us we should have an elevated sense of energy and a sense of calm within an hour of taking Magic Mind. It obviously doesn't rely on caffeine. So what Magic Mind say, is to take your caffeine alongside Magic Mind, and then you can kind of control what's right for you. And expect to be feeling 50 to 60% of the benefits on day 1. Well, there aren't many nootropics that we would expect to have such a feeling of impact on day 1. So that's going to be interesting to see. Day 2, we should feel about 75% of the effects. And then day 3, we should feel 100% of the benefits now that the nutrients like the cordyceps mushrooms and ashwagandha have started to reach full effect. So we're going to try it. So it tells me to give it a good shake. It says shake it like you mean it. So I'll shake it like I mean it. One of the things that I'm not a massive fan of here is that Magic Mind don't tell us the exact amount of each ingredient that is in each bottle. We know what's in there, but we don't know how much of each individual ingredient there are. So we've got 2 fluid ounces in total here, and olive oil, matcha, ashwagandha, bacopa monieri, rhodiola rosea, citicoline, lion's mane mushroom. Obviously we've got a bit of L-theanine, we've got some natural caffeine in there as well. There's some B vitamins, so we've got B3, B2, we've got vitamin D, we've got vitamin B12. There's also piperine in there, so that should help the bioavailability of it and the absorption rate into our body. Let's try it. Cheers. It's actually pretty tasty, and usually stuff that looks green isn't that tasty, is it? But actually it's pretty nice. It's certainly not an unpleasant drink. It is quite sweet. That's obviously the honey. And they actually say you can add it to a steamed or iced milk if you want to. Or you could make it sparkling by adding it to sparkling water. Actually, that would work quite nicely, I think. It's not too much to drink either, so it's pretty handy. The bottle is pretty small. If you look at the size of the bottle in comparison to my hand, it's not a bad size at all. That could actually fit in a pocket pretty easily. But if you're taking it as part of your morning routine, that's not going to be bad at all. So I've got my cup of tea here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drink my tea, and then it's saying within an hour or so I should feel the effect. So I'm going to go about my usual daily afternoon business, and I'll give you a little update in a bit. Tomorrow I'll come back, I'll give you another update, and then day 3 we'll finish off this review. So stay tuned and find out how we get on. Just interrupt this review for a second to say that if you are interested in purchasing Magic Mind, I've got a link down in the description below. That is an affiliate link, but what we've also got is a discount code, which is SOMMER20, which will give you 20% off your first order. So it's pretty good value for money already, but that's going to save you 20% if you do want to test it out. Now, like I said, that is an affiliate link, but it doesn't influence our video in any way, shape or form. So do go and check that out. And if you do use that link, thank you very much. You're helping to support this channel. Okay guys, I've just finished that tea. So it's not even been half an hour really yet, maybe 40 minutes at the most. And so I've just taken that first shot. And I've got to say, I'm starting to feel the effect already. I wasn't expecting to feel it that fast. I mean, if we look on the bottle here, what it's telling us we should feel a boost in energy. The adaptogen should help us to relax, keep us focused, and then subtly sweet for happy vibes. I'd probably ignore that one, but certainly the other 3. So do I feel more focused? I think focus is probably the main thing that I would say I'm kind of feeling. I felt a little bit more, maybe, I don't really like the term brain energy, but I do feel a little bit more energetic. And like I say, that's probably more coming through in focus. I'm gonna attempt to write an email now. Now, typically these emails will take me half an hour or so. It's an email blast out to our subscribers. If you're not on our list, by the way, I'll put a link down in the description below. Make sure you do sign up if you wanna hear about the latest nootropics and sleep supplements and things like that. So, initial thoughts are, yes, I'm starting to feel something. I can't imagine that the small amount of caffeine in that tea has had any real impact yet, but obviously tea, fairly rich in L-theanine, and should kind of complement each other quite nicely. So I'll pop back in 20 minutes or so, half an hour, and let you know how I'm feeling and how it's kind of translated into my work. Okay, so 25 minutes later, I've finished that email. It flowed, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but that one definitely did flow. How much that has to do with Magic Mind, I don't know. It feels pretty good, to be honest, and I am starting to feel an element of calm as well. And this could be completely psychological, all in my head. So we'll see how long this lasts. I'm hoping that I'm going to continue to feel like this for, you know, a good few hours yet. That's what they say, that the supplements in here, the natural ingredients in here should elongate the positive effects of caffeine, but then negate some of the negative effects too. So I'm hoping it's going to be a successful test. We'll see. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll tell you how the rest of today has gone, and obviously I'll be reviewing it tomorrow and day 3 too. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So thanks for watching so far. See you tomorrow. So we're on day 2 of the Magic Mind review. I've got my Magic Mind shot here. I've got my cup of tea. It is first thing in the morning today when I'm taking this. So yesterday on day 1, I took it early afternoon, and then you saw how it affected me as I did a little piece of work, and generally I felt that flow for the next couple of hours. I only worked about another 2 or 3 hours yesterday, so today it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes through the course of the day, how long this energy lasts. Now, I didn't have a great night's sleep last night. So last night I played some sport, a team game, and I was playing for around 2 hours. Now, I actually performed pretty well in that activity. So how much of that is down to Magic Mind? Probably not a great deal, but the point is, I've not recovered particularly well. I've not had the usual amount of sleep that I would have. I've had about 6 hours sleep where I'd usually be aiming for 7.5 to 8. So I'm gonna need a little pick-me-up today. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'll check in through various points in the day and let you know. And so today, according to Magic Mind, we should be hitting around 75 to 80% in terms of its effectiveness. So let's find out. Oh, shake it like you mean it. Don't forget that. Okay, that's that. So, super simple. It couldn't be much easier than that. And now I'll go and have my cup of tea and get to work. Cheers. Right, so this is my first break of the day and it's been 2 hours since I started work. To be perfectly honest, I don't usually go all the way through 2 hours worth of work without any form of procrastination or any breaks whatsoever. So far so good. Again, whether that is just attributed to the Magic Mind shot, I don't know, but considering how I felt this morning, I was really tired. I'm really surprised that I've been as focused as I have been there in that work. So this is a quick tea break. I'm going to keep the caffeine coming. Obviously, caffeine in tea is not quite as much as in coffee. Probably if you had one coffee alongside the Magic Mind, I would imagine that's probably going to power you through, but I'm going to have another tea and hopefully the ingredients that were in Magic Mind are still in my system and will again elongate the impact of the caffeine. So I'll check back in later this afternoon and give you another update. So just finishing up for day 2, and I've got to say, well, first of all, it's about 3 o'clock now, so it's been 6 hours since I took Magic Mind, and I feel like it has finally worn off. I think the magic has worn off. Yeah, a bit of procrastination kicked in the afternoon. Not quite as focused as I was in the morning. So what I'm actually going to try tomorrow for day 3 is to take it a little bit later. I tend to find that I'm more focused in the morning anyway. That's just my natural kind of personality. So I'm going to do my usual morning routine and then I'll probably have it just after lunch and see if that can power me through a full afternoon. So we'll see. I think it's been pretty successful. I mean, I was definitely more productive this morning than I normally would be. It's just whether that's a placebo effect or whether it is actually the supplement itself. So day 3 tomorrow, where I should be experiencing 90 to 100% of the full impact of Magic Mind according to their literature. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we're on day 3 and I'll be perfectly honest with you, this is probably the day that I need Magic Mind the most because I've been extremely tired this morning. Not worked particularly well. I actually had more sleep last night than I did the night before. I had over 8 hours sleep last night. My sleep stats are good, tracking them using Aura Ring, and generally all that stacks up, but I've not worked well at all this morning. So I actually think this is going to be the ultimate test today because I've just had a homemade curry for lunch too, so the afternoon slump is well and truly destined to kick in unless Magic Mind can work its magic. So we'll find out. Doing the same again, Magic Mind with a cup of tea. I'm going to go straight to work and I'll report back later to let you know how it goes. Okay, so the verdict is in. I've completed my working day, and again Magic Mind did kind of come to the rescue a little bit this afternoon. Managed to plough through a fair bit of work, which I really didn't think I would be able to do given how tired I felt this morning and then given how little work I got done this morning as well. When usually in the morning I'll work better, afternoons are usually not so good. I'm not so sure that I'm feeling what they would say would be 100% of the benefits. And actually in their literature, it does say by day 3, you should be feeling 90 to 100% of the benefit. On their website, it says it can take up to 8 days. So I'm not sure which one to believe. I think the one thing that I would point out with this, and like many nootropics to be honest, is that you do probably have to continue taking them to feel the full effect. And also the chances are that it's probably going to compound over time. I still think it's a huge shame that they're not transparent on the dosage in terms of each individual ingredient, but on the face of it, the ingredients that you do get are very, very good. They're high quality. They're pretty well researched relative to other nootropic ingredients that are out there. So there are quite a few positives with this. The other thing that I think is a massive positive is that it comes in this lovely tiny bottle that is easy to kind of transport around. If you think about an energy drink, typically that's going to come in quite a large can. Well, that is probably, I would say, about a sixth, if I can say sixth. That is probably about a sixth of the size of an energy drink. So it's pretty easy to kind of drink on the go if you do decide to use it in an afternoon rather than in a morning. And actually it tastes pretty good too. I also feel that because of the fact that it's a drink, it's a little bit more easy to live with. So it can become almost a ritual. Whereas taking capsules or pills, sometimes it feels like a little bit of a chore. Whereas if you're sitting down with your morning coffee and you've got your morning shot of Magic Mind, that's quite a nice kind of ritualistic thing to do. So I think it's a pretty solid nootropic. I think in terms of nootropic drinks, it's from the point of view of a pre-mixed nootropic drink, it probably is the best one out there. I don't know if it's quite as potent as something like Caged Mindset, although you do have to pre-mix that. But if you do want to check that one out, I would suggest you take a look at that video next. I've got a review of that right here for you. And like I say, it's a little bit more potent, but probably not quite so easy to use on the go. But going to check that out next. I hope this was useful for you guys. Thanks for watching.